Hi, I'm Veteran Network's field correspondent Michelle Ladd. I'm here outside the National Veterans Foundation headquarters in Los Angeles to bring you a story about the Foundation's resource director, Mr. Mike Washington. When Mike finished his hitch with the Army in 1979, he found out the hard way that the door to a successful life as a veteran wasn't necessarily hanging wide open. He lived a rugged life for 10 years, working offshore oil rigs, partying hard with drugs and alcohol, and eventually losing his marriage and ending up in prison. This part of Mike's story is not unusual when compared to many veterans who began their adult lives as soldiers. What we will hear when we go inside is how Mike Washington turned it around and is now working for veterans who, just like him, find life after service can be a twisting, turning trail with plenty of pitfalls and obstacles.
I was stationed in Panama. I was in the 193rd Brigade Mechanized Unit. We were a ready reaction force for Latin America. We spent a lot of time in the field. It rained, a lot of mosquitoes. It was kind of bad conditions. After I got out of the military, I went to work for Chevron in oil fields. And I worked onshore for approximately like 5 years, and then the other 5 I went offshore. And it was riding the boats every day, staying in cubicles. And I really wasn't enjoying it, but it was a job. It was a lot of drinking and drugging, and then I ended up selling drugs. It was a horrific experience for me because I was a preacher's son and everything, and as time went on, I ended up going to jail. And while I was in jail, I had gang affiliation, and so one thing led to another, so I ended up in the hole. I was in the hole, and there's no other reading material that you can get except for the Bible, but you have to put a kite into the chaplain. So when the chaplain came to see me, I talked to him, and he said, "You know what? I have a reading regimen here." And he said, "If you read this reading regimen for 30 days, I guarantee you to change your life." And so I looked at it and I said, "Okay, well, I'll give it a try." So I started reading it, and 1 month went by, 2 months, 3 months. I'm still reading it. I get out of the hole and go into general population, and I'm still reading the reading regimen, along with my regular books and everything. But I was in a 23-in-1 program, which is just 23 hours locked down and 1 hour out. And it seems like the whole time I was there, I ended up doing the reading regimen. And when I got out, I was completely powerless. I didn't bother picking up or anything. I just got out, and somehow I found my way. I found my way through one of my homeboys that were there, because he was going to the VA for my methadone. And so I said, I had asked him about getting to the VA. So he said, "Oh, there's a bus that leaves from right here." And so I went ahead and I caught the bus and I went to the VA. Really, I didn't know what to expect or anything. I was at the hospital, and they had told me my kidneys had failed because I was sick also. And so my kidneys had failed, and they put a bag on me. And at the time, I was at New Directions, and I had went ahead and made a commitment to stay there. And so I stayed 14 months at New Direction, and during that time, I met Shad Meshad.
When he was over there in the drug and alcohol treatment program at New Directions, he was running their resources section, and was on the phone and was able to really hustle up a lot of resources for that program, which had 158 inpatient residents that were dealing with drug and alcohol abuse. Mike was one of those, and it was really fascinating. He was my assistant for the class to handle my administrative stuff. I get one every time I did an anger management class. And he was very quiet. It was very interesting, but I watched him working downstairs at that building, gathering resources for this large project, live-in project at New Directions. I liked Mike. I couldn't really read him. He was very quiet, seemed very introverted at the time, very serious in the program, but there was something very special about him. So I decided to give him a shot. I saw him light up like a candle. It was unbelievable just giving him the chance. The great thing about him is his integrity, his honesty. He has tremendous energy and tremendous compassion for all, not just veterans, everybody. And the more he was here, the more I was just so surprised. I was so blown out as to how special this man was. And he was tremendous. All of a sudden, we were getting stuff donated, so much stuff that we were filling up a lot of other programs, including New Directions, U.S. Vets, with things that they needed: clothing, food, shoes, anything, you name it. Mike sort of has set up a network. He's a tremendous networker.
We'll be back with more about Mike Washington.
No need to hit the wall. Call us instead.
The latter part of the summer, Katrina hit the Gulf Coast, and there was a tremendous need, and all of a sudden we had several semi-loads of stuff that we were able to ship that Mike had acquired through our resources, to ship down into Houston, where they had over 100,000 refugees from the Gulf area.
Everybody we put together one big mass donation, and we sent 2 trucks out. You know, because like I said, I felt that we weren't doing enough.
There's just not enough Mike Washingtons in the world. There's not any more than I can say. There's just not enough of this man in the world. He's a very, very unique human being.
My life, if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't have it no other way. I mean, meeting Shad was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, as far as, you know, enriching my life. Working at the foundation, helping other people, it's all a part of me staying sober. And I'm very grateful today just to have the chance to serve veterans.
Great job, Mike. Don't ever stop.